Our story takes us all the way back to June 2018, when the United 26 bid consisting of the United States, Canada, and Mexico won rights to host the World Cup in 2026. However, the bid itself was extremely American-centric, with them planned to host about 75% of the games, which, as a result, made most people kind of forget the fact that Mexico and Canada were even part of this bid. And one of those people was the FIFA president himself, Gianni Infantino, who quickly made his goal to be the wildest meatrider you have ever seen in any sport. Just a couple months after United 26's victory, Infantino met with US President at the time Donald Trump for the first time ever and gifted him a personalized jersey. This would be the start of a fulfilling friendship, but for our fellow gay, bald, ginger Qatari migrant worker, he wanted to be more than just friends. Unfortunately, his dreams were quickly shattered by the friction that life so brutally and unfairly dishes out to all of us, as Gianni would now be forced to work and hang out with Joe Biden, a fate worse than that of a migrant worker.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was gonna
I mean, how could you possibly build a meaningful connection with this? Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now. Wish right now. Fortunately for Gianni, though, wishes are not needed when it comes to the American Democratic Party, who decided during the 2024 presidential election that Megan Thee Stallion was more important than such irrelevant issues like affordability. And so, on the night of November 5th, or midday of November 6th if you were in Kagoshima, Japan, Gianni would learn that his relationship with Donald Trump was only just beginning. On the day of Donald Trump's inauguration in January 2025, Gianni was finally reunited with Donald and vowed to never lose him again. Just 2 months later, Gianni and Donald would reveal the brand new trophy of a tournament that very nicely aligns with the Trump administration's efforts of union busting. And during the tournament itself, when Juventus became the first non-championship team to ever be invited to the White House for reasons that no one truly knows to this day, our gay, bald, ginger, migrant working Qatari showed his true admiration for Donald Trump by missing Real Madrid's opener to be in attendance to witness the president talk about Iran in front of Timothy Weah. Then, in late August, FIFA had been in advanced talks to host the group draws in Las Vegas, the same city that hosted the event for the US's iconic 1994 World Cup. It was a nice callback to history, a reminder of how far the US had come in the footballing world. But of course, to Gianni, his Pookie Bear always comes first, and the moment the Trump administration suggested the Kennedy Center in DC, Infantino immediately bowed down and changed the venue. Then, later in the year, the President of the United States expressed interest in relocating some of the host cities because of safety concerns. The same could be said about him going anywhere near a middle school, but I digress. Listen, relocating the cities this late into the tournament is not a good idea for multiple different reasons. First, a good amount of the tickets have already been sold. In fact, Trump even mentioned the fact that a lot of games have been sold out. And on top of all of this, fans who have bought tickets are probably going to have to sort out things like hotels, flights. They kind of need to get that stuff in advance because it's only going to get more expensive. And the longer the administration continues to, quote, look into different cities to relocate these games, the more this becomes a nightmare for everyone else. Not only that, these cities were picked after a long process of evaluating available venues and if the city itself has enough infrastructure. They picked these venues and cities for a reason, and changing that to anything less than the requirements can also lead to a disaster. So, with all this said, Gianni needs to act quick, and he definitely did, by giving Donald Trump exactly what he wanted. Now, if you thought that was egregious, oh boy. On February 24, 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, and 4 days later, after pressure from other federations, FIFA banned the Russian FA from participating in any sanctioned events. On October 27, 2023, Israel began its invasion of the Gaza Strip, and after pressure from the Palestinian FA in April of the following year, FIFA did not ban Israel from participating in any sanctioned events. Palestine's FA then came back to FIFA in May of this year to demand Israel's FA be banned, and all I can say is, how inconsiderate of you people. Okay, 7,000 of your own civilians have been victim of war crimes, and your countries also suffering a famine because of illegal blockades. But did you even think about Gianni's love life in any of this? You heartless people! During our gay, bald, ginger migrant Gianni's pursuit for his own happiness, he was constantly being bombarded by all these unnecessary and selfish demands from the public. Ban Israel this, ban Israel that, you're just as responsible for the genocide. Yada, yada, yada. But fortunately, Mr. Infantino has a strong heart, and he would never submit to any of this blasphemy. Out of the kindness of his warm, gentle heart, Gianni showed his affection towards Trump by claiming FIFA cannot solve geopolitical conflicts, even though he himself banned Russia just a few years ago. Oh my god, it's like a lovely Hallmark movie. Think about how much he's thinking about Trump more than his own interests of his own organization. Oh, I'm so moved right now. And finally, just like your romantic movies and shows that make you want to kill yourself because they only remind you of how lonely you are, Donald Trump finally paid attention to all these acts of service and invited Gianni to the Gaza Peace Conference, even though this guy had literally a couple weeks ago said he couldn't do shit. Why the fuck are you here? Together though, they would share that beautiful moment of intimacy we'd all been waiting for. Donald, you have no idea how much I've longed for you. Oh, Gianni. God, you're so sexy when I imagine you as a 5-year-old child. Around that same period as well, the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to not Donald Trump. Instead, it went to this random-ass woman who for the last couple decades has been peacefully fighting towards democracy for her people in Venezuela, and in doing so has been victim of multiple attacks from all-powerful opposition. I know, right? Fucking stupid. Just invade the country. I mean, nothing says peaceful more than bringing 100,000 troops to a country without knowing if they'll actually survive or not. Also, what about the Gaza peace deal? Because of our glorious leader Donald Trump, there is now a ceasefire between Israel and Palestine. That was almost deemed impossible, but now there is a path forward. Since that ceasefire, more than 360 people have lost their lives to Israeli forces. 70 of them have been children. Donald Trump not winning this year's Nobel Peace Prize was an absolute sham, and noticing that his star-spangled hero was distraught, Gianni acted quick and created the brand new FIFA Peace Prize. With this happening literally a month after the Nobel winner was announced, it was quite obvious that Gianni created this award specifically for Trump, which by the way violated FIFA's own code of ethics. But none of that actually meant anything, because thankfully our gay, bald, Italian, Qatari migrants had played 4D chess all those years ago and mangled the committee beyond recognition. And also, how dare the media try and reveal the winner of this award? This is supposed to be a surprise for his beloved Pookie. Thankfully though, Gianni is a smart man and was able to keep the secret from coming out by making it completely not obvious whatsoever that the winner was indeed Donald Trump. Now, you might ask yourself, when did Gianni finally show off his most romantic move? The award that would show the world that Donald Trump is the real peace activist on this globe. The World Cup draws. Alright, I can't do this shit anymore. In an event where the majority of the world finally gets to experience the exhilarating feeling of seeing the groups being revealed, FIFA decided to walk Donald Trump around the event like he was a Make-A-Wish kid for an hour and a half.
The inaugural 2025 FIFA Peace Prize is proudly bestowed upon the President of the United States of America, the Honorable Donald J. Trump.
We all had to witness Gianni Infantino do Cirque du Soleil tricks on it before Spain was finally placed in a group an hour and a half into the show. Also, look at this trophy. You can tell this award was actually created a day after the Nobel winner was announced, because what the fuck is that? Oh, Donald, you're so great. Oh, Donald, without you, the world would be chaos. Can you wait until after the show to open his fly with your mouth? Holy fucking shit. But hey, congrats to FIFA, because their first recipient of the FIFA Peace Award is a member of the LGBTQ+ community. Again, this event, known for revealing groups, was turned into a political fuckfest absolutely no one asked for. And this is why I can't stand Western media sometimes, because this was textbook blatant sports washing, and yet no one is saying it. The definition of sports washing is when governments use sporting events to project a false positive image to keep people from seeing the bad stuff. There was so much energy put towards Qatar and their worker rights issues, and now Saudi Arabia and everything that's going on there. Rightfully so. But why not the US? Sure, they may not have had literal slaves working on their infrastructure, and sure, they may not be arresting gay people, but the US government is actively going after trans people and constantly removing their protections. I'd even go as far as to say they've been trying to erase them, basically. And how about all those deportations as of late? Well, back in May, the Trump administration decided to set an unreachable quota of 3,000 deportations every single day. Because of this, it's not only just the criminals the US Immigrants and Customs Enforcement Agency is going after, they've also been going after people who have crossed illegally without any criminal record, and even US citizens simply because they're a skin tone tad darker. And this has caused many communities in the States to go into hiding basically out of fear of being deported, no matter if they're a citizen, not a citizen, or even someone actively seeking citizenship. Back in my hometown of Charlotte, there were over 27,000 absences in a single week at the Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools when ICE decided to put their slimy hands on my state. That was triple the number just a week prior. The only thing that makes ICE not the literal Gestapo is the fact that they're not allowed into someone's house without a warrant. That's it. So let me introduce you guys to a new series on the channel that I'd like to call, Will the United States Be a Good World Cup Host? Spoiler alert, just remember the video I made about Qatar.
Gianni, Infantino, Donald Trump, and the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Until the tournament arrives, and if anything happens during the tournament, which we'll see, I will shit on every single aspect of this World Cup. That way, you are all aware of what is exactly going on. I mean, it's only fair if I put so much energy into the Qatar hit pieces that I do the same thing for my country that forces me to pay money to the Israeli forces basically through my taxes. But whether it is politics or the actual organization of the tournament itself, I'm gonna try and cover it as much as I can. The next video, we're going after the ticket prices, I'm telling you that. But until then, a massive thank you to all our members, including Janos Balas, German Sayu 7, Jeremiah Ousu Ajimang, Django, Anazir Makalankam, Alex Rod, Kentra Gantra, Saint Terrence, Sylvia Citrus, Cheesebait, Winter Gel, Finn Likes Rugby More, Davox, The Portugizer, Wise Orange, Polo Protos, Von Fran, A Ghostly Owl, Coney Wolves, Lickstab, Matanai, Apollo, Thrilling ADT 13, Los Milos, James Braun, Facino, Napside, Money Cash Hose, Quantavious Pork, Lilia Lover, Stewed Monk, Red Yellow, Fuxi, MXN, Harry Maguire's Left Toenail, Flaquito, Thierry's Thoughts, Kev C, Dominic Griffin, Kyler Krez, Mohammed Altanib, Nish, Patrick Barley, Rashford Got 5, Raspberry Ale, and Unbroken Persona. If you'd like to become a member on the channel, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow my Twitter if you want, follow my Instagram if you like, follow my Twitch. Again, I'm gonna try and do at least another stream or two before the end of the year now that the video essay's done. But yeah, until then, I'll see you guys.